So as vaccinations roll out, cases drop and more people return to work, employers are finding themselves navigating very sticky territory. Vaccinations and the workplace. Now, this has meant facing tough decisions and questions, such as whether employers can mandate vaccinations in the workplace, raising concerns, of course, about employee rights. So for more on this, we're joined by employment rights lawyer Lior Samfiru. Lior, always great to see you. So many questions. I want to get to sort of what people are allowed to do, what they're not, but I just imagine you're a busy guy no matter what. But given this just must have taken it to a new level.
I'm getting a lot of questions about vaccinations, testing, returning to the workplace. Now is the time as the economy is getting reopened again. And a lot of employers are deciding, frankly, for themselves how they want to do things. And I think that can cause some legal problems later on, because as things stand right now, Anthony, employers cannot legally mandate vaccines. They cannot do that, despite the concerns that we all have about the spread of COVID-19. But I've been seeing a lot of employers saying, well, I understand that. I'm going to do it anyway. So we may see these issues come up in courts before too long.
That's kind of my question, because so if these, and we've already heard some of these businesses doing it, some people are relieved by this news. Others say, well, there are a lot of obvious questions. If you don't do it, can you be fired?
Legally, you cannot. Right now, we all know this term safety first, and that always applies, and it's never been more important than these days when it comes to COVID-19. But who decides if a workplace is safe? Well, the one that decides is the government, whether it's federal or provincial. And right now, governments across the country have said, as long as an employer maintains certain practices, whether it's masking, social distancing, etc., the workplace is safe. So an employer cannot decide, well, we still don't feel it's safe, so we're going to require and mandate vaccines. So because of that, legally speaking, right now, an employer cannot mandate a vaccine, cannot fire people that have not been vaccinated, refuse to hire someone that has not been vaccinated, or punish employees in any way. That's the legal answer. The practical answer is that employers are doing it, and employees are calling me all the time saying, that is my situation. So you always have to decide as an employee, do you stand up for your rights? Do you engage in that potential conflict, or do you get vaccinated? But that is a live issue that many are dealing with.
But you know, a lot of business owners are saying, look, here's the situation. We want to create a safe workplace. We want to make sure everyone feels safe. So are there other options for them to sort of navigate this? And we've seen this in some cases where they have divided workplaces, or they're making people wear certain things, or even masks in certain areas. Can that be allowed?
Yes, that is allowed. Employers certainly are allowed to decide for themselves with respect to masking and social distancing. By the way, even if the government at some point stops requiring that masks be worn, regardless of the industry, you as an employer are allowed to make those decisions. You can certainly also allow some people to work remotely. The other things that employers can use, as long as they're being reasonable, is require regular COVID testing. Now, I'm not suggesting every day before you show up to work you have to get tested, but on a regular interval to provide a test, whether it's for those that have been vaccinated or those that have not been vaccinated, that is a reasonable step for employers to take. And that is certainly another way to achieve the goal that everyone wants, which is to keep the workplace safe and proper. But beyond that, to go to that next level, to essentially require someone to undergo a medical procedure, which is, of course, what a vaccine is, right now as the law stands, and unless and until, Anthony, the government intervenes, and that is possible. At some point, the government may say, we want there to be vaccines in the workplace. You have to require employees to be vaccinated. Until and unless that happens, employers do have limitations in that respect.
I wish we had more time, but the government, at least this government provincially in Ontario, says, look, we're not going to mandate this at all. But when it comes to even, revealing one's medical status, if you will, you wonder if that will be challenged as well. We've seen some challenges in the past. Because once you start doing this, then at least you know. Anyway, so many questions. We got to leave it there. Lior Samfiru, employment rights lawyer. We appreciate this. Thank you so much.